I just want to dedicate this day to all the relatives of these enslaved people and all the people that helped found this project.
And thank goodness people did pass down oral histories, or the knowledge that these two cemeteries were here would have been lost.
This is Mount Pleasant Plains Cemetery, which was an African American cemetery from 1870 to 1890, where 8,400 people were buried. And we're in the middle of a city park and part of its national park land. And today we dedicated 4 signs honoring freedom seekers who were part of the Underground Railroad attempts to seek freedom. So the cemetery has been the subject of a 17-year archaeological and history project that I've been part of, and we're very happy now to have restored some public memory of this place.
My name is Heather Foote, and I've lived for about 30 years at the building on the opposite end of the Walter Pierce Park. I was one of the gardeners along the stretch that was for a while contested between the city and the National Park Service. There was for many years a series of gardening plots, and one day a woman walked through the garden handing out about an 8-page set of papers, her research as a Quaker from the Quaker meeting right off DuPont Circle, her research on the history of that land. And she said, "Do you know that you are gardening on top of an African American and Quaker burial site?" I had no idea. So for me, that was the beginning of the history. And of course, the garden was discontinued. It's important at this time to recall Walter Pierce, who in his organizing prevented the land from being developed, from being built into condos and whatever.
My name is Mosley. I'm a descendant of the Edmondsons. My father gave me a copy of the book, The Pearl, which is an historical account of what happened on the slave escape on that ship called the Pearl in 1848, and I never paid it any attention until about 20 years ago, and I went back to grad school. I was 54 at the Maryland Institute College of Art, and I did a biographical piece which included a recording of what happened on the Pearl with the brothers and sisters and my 2 great-great aunts, Mary and Emily Edmondson.
My name's Kevin Mosley. I'm from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. I am here because I was invited by Don Young, one of the descendants of the Edmonds. And here I find that there's another Mosley here, and I'm really interested to find out what the connection may be, because my father is from Virginia. So, and our family was enslaved way back in the 1700s.
Our plaque is number 2, the one where everyone is standing in front of. Yep, seeking freedom. That's the one. Because even though and a lot of people felt that this slave escape was part of something that spurred part of the Civil War, because most people felt that slaves who worked in homes were happy being slaves. You know, it's like, oh, we're happy on the planet. No, they were still trying to escape, you know, and trying to get their freedom, and that's what they did. Unfortunately, someone told, which frequently happens in these instances, and they were caught. And my great-great-aunts was sent to prison over in Alexandria. It's a fascinating story, and I'm really, really grateful, because those 2 aunts went on, they were rescued, and they went to school, and they got on the slavery circuit, anti-slavery circuit with Jarrett Smith and the brother that has the white patch in front of his hair. I can't think of his name. He's real famous. And you know, they became teachers, and they actually started the first schools here in D.C., which later became what is now known as the District of Columbia University.
Hello, so this here is Amira Mack, and her father is Mark Mack, and he was the lead anthropologist on the project here at Walter Pierce Park, and she'd like to say a few words.
So I'm a bit nervous, but my dad was a really good teacher, a dad, a husband, a brother, and I miss him so much. And I'm glad that the project of remembering the enslaved people who are buried here are finally recognized, and this will always be their home. And I'm just glad that this is a final resting place for those people who weren't able to have a happy life as being enslaved. And I'm just finally happy that they're having a safe place and they're in a good place. So I just want to dedicate this day to all the relatives of these enslaved people and all the people that helped found this project and helped sort of create this project to remember these people.
So here I am today to bear witness to the way that African Americans cemeteries have been treated across this country, and hopefully we gain a greater insight and appreciation for the sacrifices that African Americans made to create this country, and for the remembrance of that history. And thank goodness people did pass down oral histories, or the knowledge that these two cemeteries were here would have been lost.
WAMU. Yep, back in the day. Yeah, that's right. Let's do editorial. You were there. We were younger men. Yeah.